is Warriors Anonymous.
Back by popular demand, this is Warriors Anonymous, the podcast. Back for 2025. Yay! The boys are back. Jared Cronin, Isaac Soss, and Daniel Wharakura. A little bit under the weather there, Dan, I understand, man.
All good, yep. Just battling on, but hey, I'm going to be ready for Vegas. I'm ready for Sunday. I'm not actually going to Vegas, but I'm ready to consume it on Sunday. Get it. Let's go, boys.
Yeah. Are you in, Pukeroa, Vegas?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
There you go.
We'll just be, yeah. It's been a slow build, but I'm fizzing now. I'm ready to go.
Good, bro. So am I. Isaac Soss, he's got the Warriors Anonymous hoodies on there. I like that, bro. That's nice. Mate, are you peaking for the weekend?
Watching the game in the real Vegas, J Vegas, right here, J Vegas.
The strip.
Yeah. They'll be playing their games at Elksmore Park. But yeah, ready for it, eh? 1 o'clock, eh? Is it 1 o'clock? 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock on Sunday.
Yeah, it's an early one. So, yeah, it's kind of weird. The return to sort of day footy, but all good. Lads, I guess before we even get into anything, I just got to mention, Isaac is wearing one of the hoodies. I'm wearing one of the T-shirts as well from warriorsanonymous.co.nz. Daniel's got one of the T-shirts as well. warriorsanonymous.co.nz if you're in New Zealand, or Warriors Anonymous.
I can't hold this up too long in the fall.
Work those quads, bro. Work them out. But yeah, get along. The new range of streetwear is out, and yeah, it's looking nice. So get amongst and help support the cause. We've got heaps of cool stuff coming on here on Warriors Anonymous. So check that out as well. Now, boys, everyone knows the Vegas kickoff to the year. So I'm going to start off with a hard and a real hard hitting one. I want you to think in terms of, we're not thinking long term. We're just thinking in terms of the 2025 season and how much it will help or hinder our premiership chances. Hard or nah? We'll start with you, Daniel. Is this Vegas trip worth it for our Warriors?
Hard.
Oof, he's hard. Okay.
Yeah, I just think they have to put on a spectacle. They've actually played a lot of the frontline guys in the trial, and we just need to get off to a good start. The season's a long season, I do know that, and teams peak later on, but yeah, I think we would just. We just struggled our first couple of games, and last year, and I'd just love for us to get on the board early and assert ourselves as top 8 contenders.
Yeah, right. It was just thinking back to last year. There was, I think, maybe a 50-50 split between teams that went on to do well and teams that didn't. I believe the Broncos and the Rabbitohs didn't make playoffs, whereas Manly and the Roosters, they did go on. So, Isaac, what are your thoughts? Is Vegas worth it in terms of our 2025 season for the Warriors?
I'm going to go hard. I think the Warriors need to make a statement early in the season. And what better place to make a statement than Vegas, right? Like, if they can put on a show, and they'll have a fucking mint following. They have an awesome crowd there in Vegas, so surely there'll be tons of Wars fans there. So what better way to represent the game in general and for the Warriors to really make a mark early on in the season than in Vegas?
Absolutely. And also leading the charge of the wave of Warriors fans that are going to be there will be our mate Richie Morgan's going to be there. The Warrior Nation, El Presidente is going to be there beating the drum. Yeah, that's right. He's going to be there, leading the charge. Apparently, the Warriors fans are selling out the most sections of the stadium. So I'm expecting us to really, really represent, just like we do it like Magic Round. It's just a little bit further away and maybe a little bit more magicer. But
Richie Morgan, Mr. International.
That's right. Mr. Worldwide.
Mr. Worldwide.
He's doing great stuff with his barbecue as well. He's making all sorts of sort of make some brisket the other day. It was absolutely delicious. But keep an eye on that space. Boys, trial games. We had 2. Every team has 2 in the lead up. Thank God they're over, by the way. I can't stand the preseason. But we sort of had we had one game which was a little bit sort of up and down against the Sharks. Sort of some promising signs there, I guess. And then against the Melbourne Storm, I just had to keep telling myself it's just a trial. It's just a trial. it's just a trial. Don't fucking get excited by this because it was like the first time we beat them in about 10 years. But what are our overall thoughts? Isaac, we'll start with you, bro. What are your thoughts on the trials and what took place?
I mean, yeah, the first game, kind of wish I didn't watch it. Not because I don't love the Wires, but it's hard to get into and it doesn't really mean much. And I think it's just an opportunity for players to get some runs under their belt before the actual season starts, just feeling it out. But it's good to see some aspects of play of what we might see going into the season, like Lukiafu, I just think, it's just those sorts of things are what you want to see. James Fisher-Harris wearing the Wires jersey as well. But yeah, you can't really take too much from it.
Yeah, it looks like he's just slotted in pretty well there. I just had to mute Daniel because he was having
Scratching his armpits?
good solid scratch there.
I think he's scratching his walls.
Maybe.
Been doing it this whole time.
He was having a good sand over there.
The number 2.
Oh boy. We're in mid-season form already. I love it. Daniel, what was your thoughts on the sanding? I mean, the trials.
The sanding trials. Yeah. Like you can't get too concerned about form across the board. You just pray for no major injuries. Oh, what happened? Broken wrist, Dylan. So that happens, unfortunately. But the thing for me I really liked is, some of those guys that are looking to play key positions this year as well. Luca, in particular. I thought he had a good showing, great with the boot too. And, managed to see the boys around the park. And then I love how it unearths some players as well. And in particular, a new number 9 that could be hopefully finding his way into a game day 17 sometime soon. So I think overall all good. But let's get that out of the way and let's get on to the main event.
Was that Sam Healy, the number 9 who impressed you, was it? Yeah. He's definitely he's slotted in really well so far. And likewise, Isaac, you mentioned Fisher-Harris, who's now one of the co-captains. They're kind of like when they named old Barnett and him the co-captains. For some reason, I just sort of Tango and Cash. It's kind of like,
I'll bring the guns, you bring the beer.
yeah, it's exactly what I thought of. Isaac, who did you like in the trials, bro? Who shone to you?
Metcalf for me, and Healy as well. But Metcalf, seeing him kick 40-20s, just generally taking the team on his back and shouldering a lot of responsibility in general play. I don't know what's going on in the wings, behind the scenes. Maybe Sean Johnson is imparting as much knowledge as he can on the likes of Metcalf, but it felt like he's not afraid to take on the mantle of the number 7 jersey for the Warriors. And Healy as well. Like, he looks the goods. Like, I feel really bad for Freddie Prince-Lussick. I think he's gone. I think he might not get much game time this year, barring injuries. I mean, it's a long season, but Healy looks the goods.
He, I know Freddie got a good little sponsorship deal recently from MG Motors. So he's driving around in a flash new MG at the moment. So I hope he's enjoying that. Now, I actually, the thing about Luke Metcalf, first of all, Cooper Cronk seemed to be quite taken with him in that trial game. But I was wondering, have we already kicked more 40-20s in 2025 than we did all of last year? Come on. That's something that is exciting. I like the fact that he's also not afraid to take on the line. He's going straight up and working a nice little combo with Ali outside him. The boys are just, they seem like they're clicking quite well. And I guess the question now is how does it translate when the bright lights come on? The bright lights of Vegas. But
there's also another slight question mark, and I'm going to say it early on. Can he play 20 games this season? Mm-hmm. Unfortunately for the young fella, he's had his injury woes, a combination of things, like definitely on the hamstrings, right? Like he's had to change his running style. So hopefully, touch wood, he's going to be strong enough. But that's my only concern. But I guess that's why we have in the wings a Tanner Boyd, right? I think you're going to need another controlling half in the club just in case, something goes down. But he started well and exactly what we needed in terms of Warriors support base needed to know, hey, we've got a natural successor to SJ.
Absolutely, and it really is that's the issue, the durability, because in terms of his ability, he's got so much going for him. And I've seen a lot of games even before he came to the Warriors, and where he was throwing cutout passes out right, out left, setting up tries, and it was like, wow, this guy's really good. So if he can stay on the field, that would be key for him. Now the captains, we went for one of the existing boys and one of the new boys, the Tango and Cash combo. Isaac, what did you think about the co-captain approach, and also how are we going to work it? Because obviously they'll both start, but will we be sort of working them at different intervals to try and keep a captain on the field?
I think that's exactly what they'll do. I would have preferred if they just gave Barnett the captaincy. I think he deserves it. I think he's earned it, especially the hard yards he's done in that Warriors jersey. I mean, Fish is, he's a man among his peers. He's highly revered, but he's just come to the team. And I know people would follow him, but I would have liked to see Barnett just take on the captaincy alone. I don't know. That's just my own personal opinion. I don't think they're doing anything wrong by having both of them as co-captains, but I would have preferred just one man to assume the responsibility, and that would have been Barney.
From what I understand, they had actually decided that Barney was going to be the captain. It was just when Webby went to tell Fisher Harris about it, Fish just went, and then Webby was like, okay, fuck it, you can both do it.
Yes, Fish. Anything you say, Fish.
Sorry, boss.
I don't mind the co-captaincy, and actually in the game there's about 6 leaders, in the team. So I don't necessarily think you need a single figurehead of that's the captain. You want obviously to be able to simplify things, when in the heat of the battle. But Metcalf's going to have a massive voice, right? And he moves the team around. Dylan Walker comes in as well in the middle of the game too. He's a leader in the squad. So you've just got experience as well. So I kind of like that. It could be worse. You could be the Hurricanes and you could have 4 co-captains. So at least 2 is better than 4.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
I can agree with that. Yeah.
Especially given the experience that we lost. Well, we lost Sean. Tohu had to retire, obviously, about a month or so ago, which was a bit of a...
And ran out of strapping tape in the country.
That's right. Poor fella.
No more blessed.
Yeah, that's right. Much love to Tohu. Of course, Jazz headed off to the Sea Eagles, Adam to the Sharks, and also a couple of guys went to the Bulldogs, Montoya and Nego Montoya. I wouldn't be sad not saying his name on Teams Day. And also, you're going to miss the Iron Lion named Zion as well. Zion Mai'u, Isaac. So there's a lot of cattle who've gone out the door. We'll talk about some of the newbies in a second as well. But Isaac, who you missed the most out of that impressive list?
Oh, that's a really tough one, eh? I mean, I'd probably say overall, probably AFB. I mean, and that's not a knock on Tohu or SJ and the legacy that they've left at the club. But AFB, 2 years running, prop of the year, could have really used another year out of him. It would have been nice with that vacuum of experience, keeping a guy like AFB on the roster. But kind of just is what it is. It's the nature of the game. But yeah, I really feel like AFB, I'm scared of him taking his game to another level and it being for the Sharks. I'm really worried about that.
And he looks like he has as well. In the preseason, a couple of shots of him, it was like he'd bloody, gotten a bit shredded over there in Cronulla. And I was like, damn. Damn, son. Anyways, best of luck to him and the Sharkies. But in terms of the guys that we've brought in, we've mentioned Sam Healy, the hooker, mentioned Fisher Harris, also mentioned Tanner Boyd. There's a couple of other guys, Dion Amituanai, who's going to be likely in the, I would say, either the Jersey Flag or the New South Wales Cup team. Also a guy who has stood out to me, Daniel. In terms of a replacement, who was going to be a replacement, I guess, for Jazz Tavanga and now possibly more of a replacement for Tohu, and that is Aaron Clark.
Yeah, he's a light for light Jazz mentality replacement because he's a fizzer, he's a firecracker, strong, and he's got fast feet. And I guess I always think about players you don't want to face for some reason, and he's a player that he's just given us trouble over the years as well. So, yeah, nice to have one on our side. But you're really impressed with what he can do. And again, yeah, he's coming into a stage of his career, right, where he probably took a bit of time to really assert himself in first grade, but the last couple of seasons at the Titans, he's done a good job. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a good addition. I think him and Walker will kind of feed off each other, kind of be the new bald, not so bald brothers coming in there as well.
Before and after.
Ashley and Martin.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I don't really...
It's a goal.
I'm really looking forward to seeing him rip and tear.
Yeah, nice. I got to say, one thing that you just mentioned about Aaron Clark and how he's a little bit like a guy you don't want to play against, and he's lined up next to Barnett, Fisher Harris, Marata Nukore, and then you got on the bench a guy who you rebranded for 2025, Dimitri Vaimaunga. This could be a pretty mean forward pack that we've got here. This could be a menacing side that no one would want to mess with. Isaac, what do you reckon, man?
When you just spell it out like that, then yes. I mean, they've got to play their potential, but there's plenty of threats out of all the names that you just rattled off there. I would like to see Nukore not starting. I would like to see him on the bench in that front row rotation. I saw enough of him last season in that second row where I feel like he doesn't really... he's not offering as much than if he was in the front row rotation. And I'd like to see Laban take over the second row spot. I'm liking what I'm seeing out of him. And I think he's the kind of guy that can only get better. He's the kind of youth player you need to invest in and just go, right, that's your spot to lose. And then see how far we can take him.
Yeah, absolutely. A special mention as well to a good friend of the podcast who got upgraded to a top 30 contract last week. That's Tanner Stowler-Smith. Well done, the Horswell Hornet. He's you mentioned about the cheap meal that he confessed to a couple of years ago, Daniel. So that may be off the cards for maybe up until sort of.
I have two, bro. Go for it. But us fellas, no, stick to that. No cheap meals, man. Here
we're shredding for the season. Now, Buddha, what are your thoughts, bro? Well, in terms of our team's strengths, menacing forward pack, and even some good skill players as well. A lot of guys who, actually, a few guys in that forward pack who have actually come up through the grades playing different spots. You got Aaron Clark used to play halfback. Apparently, Dimitri used to as well. And then you got a guy like Lecco who used to play centre and Capewell as well, a bit wider. So there's kind of guys with a bit of a skill set and B, a little bit of dynamic sort of movements about them. But what do you think in terms of our key strengths as a team heading into this 2025 season? What are you most excited about?
I think it is that youthful forward pack. I think we might find we get back to that sort of, how would you put it, that kind of the skillful outside or back rower type Warriors team of old. I'd love to see a bit of that. And I think that's probably where our strikers. I just think about who's got the ability to bust tackles one-on-one and to play a little bit of warrior ball as well. I think that's where we maybe lacked a little bit of youth last year as well. We had a bit of it was known they had one of the older squads going around. And when the kind of structured plan A didn't quite work, we didn't really have a plan B as well. So I'm really looking forward to seeing those young fellas really grow a step. I mean, we've seen what Leka can do. We've seen Dimitrik, what he can do. I always say I remember his first kind of, I think it would have been 2023 season where I think he got injured first game he played, came back, tripled in size, and he just looked like, he looked like Maui from Moana, like he was
The demigod.
just a demigod as he is. So I love that, going back to that raw power as well, because I think the game is so structured as well. And look, we've shown that we can, when we count our numbers right, we've got the right guys in motion as well. When we work hard, we're good. But I think we all just recognise in stages last year that we just didn't have enough sort of, I don't know. The game I still haven't watched and I'll never watch until we win the premiership is the game against the Titans. But all I heard from everyone said is that Titans just look stronger and faster on the day. And I think, to kind of combat other teams, took a little bit of X factor there.
Yeah, I like that. I'm actually quite excited about the vibe that these young guys are bringing in. So much to the point where, Dallin gets injured, but straight away I'm like, great. That gives us a spot for Tane to come into the team.
100%.
I think he needs to be in there somewhere. I think he's good enough, and I think he deserves a spot. But it's a matter of how things unfold. But in terms of the downside of the Warriors, let's have a look at maybe the weaknesses that may sort of hold us back this year. Isaac, what worries you the most about our team?
Halves. That's it. I think it comes down to the halves. Who's going to take the team by the scruff of the neck and lead them around? I mean, we've seen early signs, but we've got a lot of players in that pool of halves. You've got Boyd, Chanel, TMM, Metcalf, couple of younger players that probably won't get into the first grade this year, like Mr. Cleary. But I just want to see somebody take some responsibility and just go, I am the man. Like there were times throughout last season where we thought TMM was the guy to lead us, and then there would be games where he just disappeared and you didn't see him run, you didn't see him kick, you didn't see him do anything. I don't think we can afford to do that again or have that happen. I like Tanner Boyd, though, as much as I hated him when he was playing for the Titans, because he always seemed to play good against us when he was at the Titans. But he is more than a serviceable player. I think he's actually got a bit to him. I wouldn't actually mind seeing him on the bench, maybe playing like a 9 role, maybe filling in the halves if needed, because he's got a good kicking game to him too. But yeah, halves and probably our outside backs is where I'm most concerned. I think, from Dan's point about our forward pack being really dynamic, I think being dynamic is what we need to be this year to go against the grain of the whole structured teams like your Penriths and whatnot. But we need a little bit more dynamicism from the backs. And that, to your point, we need Mighty Mouse, Tuapiki in the team somewhere. It's just where do you put them,
Indeed. It is a tricky word as well. Dynamicism?
Dynamicism? I just made up a word.
I'll get both of your guys' thoughts. Who is your 6 and 7? Lay them on me. Isaac, yours first.
I'd like to see Metcalf and CHT.
Cool. I'm assuming Metcalf is 7, yeah?
Yeah, Metcalf at 7, CHT. I think he's a dynamic player as well, and I feel like he could offer a little bit of something different with our left foot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, cool. Buddha, who's yours, bro?
I'm going to go Metcalf and Tamaiti. I think what they want from Tamaiti this year is those blindside raids we saw, and I think he's good at that, counting numbers, going wide. Let Metcalf, be the dominant half as well. But there will be plan B early in the season, I think. There'll be a plan B early in the season if they don't think Metcalf's quite kind of can make controlling the game. And then they might shift him back to 6 and bring Tanner Boyd in as well, because you just kind of know what you're going to get from Tanner Boyd, right? So you have a bit of confidence there, and then you've got two good kicking games as well. But we all know like this is such a tough season. It's such a tough competition that all four of them are going to get games as well. So they actually have the depth there. It's pretty important.
Yeah, one area we don't have depth at, Isaac, you mentioned at the outside backs, and from what I've been hearing from the Warriorholic, he's been saying that there's some strong murmurs that the club are looking to bring someone in. So that will be interesting to see how that sort of all plays out. If we look at our centres, possibly an area in terms of numbers we're maybe a little bit short on. I'm interested as well to see your guys' favourite combination of who you're going to put right centre and left centre. We'll start with you, Daniel. Who are you picking in that side?
Well, yeah, I'm a bit shit when it comes to left and right, but I actually want to see when fit properly. I want to see the Rocco and Ali go at it. I think that could be a centre pairing for many years to come as well, and I just love for the boys to bet in, get games under their belt as well. Pompey, and I think he got ads extended as well. Not to huge fans here, but I guess a lot of true Warriors fans, a lot of respect because they know durability is an important aspect of the game, and Pompey's given us that as well. But yeah, I think when fit, those two boys, and again, I think there's potential for, back half of the season to go, how do you get all your best players in the field? And if that requires Tuopiki, for example, having to go at the back and Chance having to go into centre, then I don't mind that either as well. So we might get to a position where, old school, you just got to get all your best players, your best attacking players in the field, and then that could be an option. But, I'd love to see Ali and Rocco do it this season.
Yeah. Interesting you mentioned Chance. That was a bit of a wild card when he played in that final game of the season last year, and he actually carved up, and I was like, holy heck, we've got something here as well, potentially. So that's right side Rocco, left side Ali for you, Daniel. I'm going to go the same, to be honest. Isaac, who are you thinking for 3 and 4?
Same. I think they are the incumbents at the moment. They both offer a different sort of skill set, but they're both strike weapons. They're both, again, dynamic players. They just haven't had enough time on the park to really show their wares. I mean, Rocco in burst, and then Ali in burst. But if they can get a full season under their belt and start building some combinations with the halves, look out, I reckon, because they've got the goods. And Pomps, he's serviceable. Like, I'm happy they re-signed him. Because, if we're short of wingers, I'm sticking him out there on the wing instead of Ed Cossey, man. I'm sorry, I'm done with him. I'm sorry, Ed. I'm done with you.
Yeah. He makes it hard, doesn't he? Going into that Sharks game, that trial, and it was like, I was trying to mentally just let the past go and be like, okay, let's just look forward. Maybe he's going to, do some cool stuff and get some confidence. Big body, can do some things. And then within about 3 minutes of that Sharks game, I was like, done, bro, done. Get him out.
I've got a big body. I can't do anything. So it's not all about big bodies.
You want him to do well. You keep hoping for the best.
Yes.
Every time he's on the field, and your heart goes out to him. But at the same time, it's like enough is enough. Like, the murmurings about signing Stone Street from the Sharks. Big body, fast, reliable hands. Even though he's a young buck, I'd rather have somebody like that you can sort of rely on. But to my point, Pompey, I'd rather have him on the wing if push came to shove.
Yeah, nice. Roger looks pretty good back on the wing as well.
Sharp.
Just saying. It's been a while since I've seen him on the left wing. Sort of takes me back to those early days when he was over at the Roosters, and I was like, "Ooh, this could be pretty decent." If you get to the situation, I'm assuming Rocco will be back. Maybe midway through the season, perhaps. The Warriors been a little bit cagey as well on the details on that.
Yeah.
Richard Agar went on Sport Nation, and he said that everything was, the recovery was going well. But this whole designation of undisclosed return time is a little bit of a worry. So, but yeah, if Ali gets to work that left side and he has Roger outside him,
I feel like Roger is like a rushing forward in the NFL, right? Like he's like a Saquon Barkley. He just has you just set him up with a route, and boom, he's going to hit it. You know, and he's going to step me in as well. I think that's maybe no disrespect to Rog from coming back, but I think that's probably where his best football will lie, right? With everyone talked about him in the fullback role as well, and looking he was adequate, awesome at that as well. But I think for trying to get the most out of a high performance athlete like that, he doesn't need to be covering all those distances a fullback does, right? You need those guys are probably the best athletes in terms of fitness in the game these days, right? But I just want to see him rushing hard, beating guys one on one like that. And I think if the Warriors can set him up like that with Ali, then we'll see maybe a 12, 14 try RTS this season.
he might be able to pull out the Saquon Barkley backwards hurdle maneuver.
If anyone was going to do it, it's going to be him.
Like he just can, eh? The quads of.
You can do that roll, whoop, open over like, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, acrobatic.
Dan's right. Hey, I think maybe not give him so much work to do around the park. And when he has touches, they're just high intensity touches of the ball, like a Saquon, and he'll create more of a threat for Ali as well, being on the outside of him too, and vice versa. So that edge could be deadly if they get it right and they get them early ball or get them quality ball on that edge. Teams will be ringing the fire alarm, but they've got to do it right.
Yeah, nice. We'll start breaking out the crystal ball for the season. I don't think we have a great track record with the predictions, but we're going to give it a try anyway. We'll start with you on this one, Daniel. Final game of the season could be round 27, could be the playoffs, could be the grand final. Who is starting their final game of the season at fullback for us?
I think it'll be a Tuivasa-Sheck. I just have a feeling that he will, through necessity as well, combination. I think that, I think he'll find a way to be the guy at the back for us as well, which is not a bad thing. Hopefully it's not through sort of devastating injuries as well. But I think might find that, again, I come to that point. You sort of play you just can't keep out as well. You see him, you see Kinney, you just need these fast, agile little guys that can do damage. So, yeah, I'd love to see him there.
Yeah, I actually have a sneaky suspicion as well. He could probably kick a drop goal if needed as well. And I know we need people like that in the team. Isaac, who is your starting fullback for our final game of the season?
I'm going with Dan's assessment. I reckon Sostradamus.
Oh, hang on.
This is how it plays out. There's an injury in either halves or the centres. Chance fills that position. Tane's just there for maybe a week or two, or he's meant to be. Shows irrepressible form, and they can't drop him, and he ends up staying in that jersey. And either Rocco or maybe the number 6 jersey becomes Chance's. But Tane's too good to drop. He makes himself indispensable in the jersey, and he'll finish up the season at 1.
Whew. This is very interesting. In terms of the next gen of talent, there's a few names coming through. Let's see who you guys reckon will actually have the best season out of guys like Dimitri, Laban, Leka, Ali. Buddha, who are you thinking will go on to have the best year in 2025?
I think from a consistency point of view, Isaac touched on this before, and you saw it in the Indigenous Māori All-Stars game. I think Ken Laban, love him. No, Jacob. I think Jacob Laban will be the 18 plus games. I think kind of warrior for consistency, and and get to the level of being sort of 7.5, 8 out of 10, and I think will become a natural workhorse, because those edge back row roles now, they are 60 to 70 minutes. The best do 80 minutes, right, as well. So it's a pretty important game. In saying that, there's going to be some awesome highlights and some awesome standout activity from Dimitrik and Leka. And look, we all know how much hype is around Leka. We knew from last season and his first touch against the Bulldogs, and then what could have been one of the best individual tries of last year, if he managed to get the ball on the ground. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But I think Jacob Laban has a good chance to really, really have a standout season.
Jake the Muss. Isaac, I'm guessing that you're gonna second that notion.
I second that notion. Yes, I do. I think he's gonna be Mr. Consistent, because he's got a forward pack around him that's got enough experience to show him the ropes, and he's just got a great group of forwards to learn from. Really great people. You've got your Barnetts, your Fish, your Kurt Capewells. If he can just hold his spot and just absorb as much knowledge about how to play the game from these professionals, he'll have a good season. He'll be like a 7 or 8 out of 10 season if he can hold that spot.
Yeah, he's a massive unit too. He's a big boy. I remember seeing him last year when he, I think it was his debut game. He was like standing next to Latrell and kind of looking down at him, and I was like, "Ooh, that's a big boy." Bold predictions, boys. Let's give it our biggest, boldest predicciones we have. We'll start with you, Daniel. What is your bold prediction for 2025? Can be anything. Can be to do with the team, a player, coach, a fan. I don't know. Whatever you want to do.
Bold predictions. There's just something telling me that, we will see. We will just see some game-winning stuff, some on-the-line game-winning stuff from guys like Leka and Dimitrik. There'll be match-winning performances, I think we'll see, which might actually just get us into like the territory of the top 8 late in the season. I feel with their progression as they're going, late into the season, they could be really humming, because they might not necessarily play huge minutes at the start. They might get some game time early on, but I think we'll see a top 8 finish with the young fellas getting us home.
Oof, he's going top 8. All right. Isaac, bro, what's your biggest, boldest, and beautifulest prediction?
Triple B. I'm going to go, we scrape into the top 8. Oof. But my bold, another Sostradamus prediction is Wade Egan gets into Origin.
Ooh, okay.
I reckon on the back of this forward pack, this is going to have like early 2000s forward pack vibes. And I reckon he's the perfect guy to take advantage of that as well. Like, he's got all the skills and the nous around the ruck to really take advantage of it. And I think he takes his game to another level on the back of the work that the forward pack will do.
I was going to do 2 bold predictions, but you've given me an idea for a third one. I'm going to go, by the end of the season, Wade Egan will be debuting for the Kiwis. Please. I'm sure that residency rule has been sorted by now. Also, I'll go with a debut for our man Tanner Stowell-Smith. I think you'll get a run at some stage during the season. And also, I guess my most bold one is probably, aside from the Wade Egan one, Ali Leatawa, Dally M Centre of the Year. There you go. Bang.
Ooh. Yep.
So, yeah.
He's got all the goods.
I know it's hard. Like, I'm saying that and then I'm like, it's only just a trial, Jared. But that's all right. It's all good. We've got to get excited about these things because it's a long season.
We are excited.
We're going to be excited heading into game 1 against the Raiders over in Vegas. Boys, anything else? Any last bets you want to throw out there before we jump out for episode 1?
I'm going to figure out what combination, and this is right up your street, GC, around bench. But I feel we need to have Samuel Healy in there. I just feel for the continued pace around the ruck and to show what he's shown as well. It might not be straight away, but I just can't see Wade having to play 80 minutes. And look, I'm not trying to say he can't do that, but a 50-minute, 30-minute sort of approach, perhaps. You see the Storm do it, right? You see the Storm with Harry Grant, and he's just so effective. And I think a guy like Sam Healy can be that effective. So how do we make that work? I know that kind of screws up the conventional bench order that we've run.
Let's do a snap bench poll just before we jump out. Give us your 4 on the bench, Buddha.
Well, I have to go Sam Healy because I've said as well. So we've got Walks, Healy, then we go Marata, and then we've got probably Dimitrik as well. Nice. So we've got guys that can play the middle, guys that can play the edge, and then we've got Sam Healy for a good at least 25, 30 minutes. Yeah,
nice.
So it was Healy, Dimitrik, Nukora, and what was the other one?
Dylan Walker.
D-Walks. Isaac?
Same as Buddha.
Same.
Yeah, I reckon they play Sam Healy with a lot of minutes. I reckon the Warriors play up-tempo, fast strike football.
Round the
Sam Healy's round the ruck. Sam Healy's the man to do that.
Nice. I'm going to go slightly different. I'm going to go Chanel as the perfect 14 player. Can play pretty much anywhere. So I'll go him as your dummy half sort of backup-ish. Dylan Walker, of course. I think you're going to go a guy like, Dimitrik. And then, what do we got? Do we go young? Do we go old? Let's say... let's go Lecker. What the hell? Let's chuck him on there as well. Just to bloody scare the crap out of people off the bench.
So new Corey starts?
Correct.
All right, in the second row.
Yeah, I'm going to go Capewell left side, New Corday on the right, because he looked like he looked comfortable with Metcalf running the show out there against the Storm. So, that's my quick thoughts, boys. We've gone over time, which is good. I think we're about to get closed down by the bouncer. The smallest bouncer in the world. My son's about to come back and wreak havoc. But Isaac Sauce and Daniel Whatakura, thank you very much for joining us on this first episode. Very exciting stuff. Don't forget to like and subscribe on our YouTube channel, or what are we on now? On the podcast on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever the hell we are. Catch us on Facebook. That's about it. Yeah, other stuff as well.
ChatGPT, Grindr.
Or just in the street. You say
Hinge, everywhere. DeepSeek.
We're on DeepSeek.
Yeah.
Yeah, none of the show was real. This was all DeepSeek.
This is all DeepSeek. Yeah.
WeChat.
Yeah. All right, boys. Well, game 1 against the Raiders. Let's get it done. We'll catch you next week right here on Warriors Anonymous, the podcast of the Waz.
La cucaracha, ya no puede caminar.